Alright, and we're back, and now I've got Silo in here with me. Is that how I pronounce it?
Oh yeah, Silo Simon. You can hear me, right? Let's see, you might... Let's see. You guys can hear me, right?
No, no worries. I think I already had the worst of it today. You can't do any worse than I did when I first came on, so you're good.
Okay, no, you're good. Sorry, I just want to make sure you guys could all hear me alright.
Really? So wait, this is Mario Party 2,
Yes.
and we're looking at playing Luigi for CJ's mom.
Awesome, okay. And I'll make sure to pick another character as our partner, but so we're all good to go then, you guys said?
It seems like it'll be on your countdown.
Okay, sweet. Sorry, I just wanted to make sure. Alright, so I'll explain a little bit about the run here. So, in this game, in Mario Party 2, there is an extra game mode that you unlock after you unlock all of the games in Mario Party 2. It's called Mini Game Coaster, and it's basically a challenge for you to beat a specific set of mini games in a row and get all the way to the end of the coaster. And you have to win every single mini game to do that, so you can't like throw any mini games or whatever. So on Mario Party 2, there's also 3 different difficulties. There's easy, normal, and hard. And on Minigame Coaster, what that means is the coaster gets longer and more difficult for each course that we do. So easy is only 3 worlds, normal is 6 worlds, and then hard is 9 worlds. So in normal, we're going to be covering the first 6 worlds, and it'll have normal difficulty computers. And it has a bit of a difference between hard coaster because there's a few mini games that you do some different stuff in, so it's kind of neat. But yeah, I'll explain more as we go along in the run here. So I'll give you a countdown here in 3, 2, 1, go. So at the start of the coaster, we are immediately asked if we want to save. We don't want to do that because it's the start of the coaster and that makes like no difference at all. If we do lose all of our lives, we restart right there anyway. But the first game that we start with is Bumper Balls. This game is nice. Wario fell off pretty early there. This game's kind of hard on the normal coaster because you have ice physics here. Hopefully this goes alright. Nice, that went really well. So the bumper balls can be pretty difficult if the computers are just not cooperating very well. But on normal, they're not the smartest, as you could tell with Wario there. and then with the ice physics, it can also kind of help you gain a bit of momentum. So, but it can also slow you down a lot. So bumper balls can definitely be a big hurdle to starting runs if you are not super good at it. But yeah, let's see. So it looks like we have about 20 boos here. I just want to double check the count here. Yeah, it's about 20. Well, let's see. So 4. I might be wrong. So 4. Let's see. I'm actually 16, I think. I might be wrong here. If I'm wrong, I definitely am super embarrassed. I apologize. I was talking. So, okay, no, we did it right. Good. So you can get between 16 to 20 boos on that game, and 16 is actually the best luck you can get, because the amount of time it takes for the boos to disappear is a bit shorter since the count is lower. So thankfully we did that, and I didn't mess that up. I counted in like groups of 4, so that's why I counted like 4 extra there. I wasn't being too careful, but thankfully I was paying a little bit of attention. So, the third mini game coming up here, Tile Driver. This game also has a bit of luck involved with how many tiles you have to turn. And you can get between 6 to 12 tile turns. And 6 saves quite a bit of time over 12, like at least a good, I don't know, like, it's a good like 12-ish seconds, maybe a little bit less, but we didn't get amazing luck there. We got about 11 tile turns, so not super great, but We do try to save a little bit of time in that mini game by hopping from one space to another and then doing our ground pound once we're over the space, instead of like running to a space and then doing the ground pound. It's a little bit faster, but anyway, we're soaring through these games here. Game number 4. Slot Car Derby. This game is fun, and if you don't know how to play the game, it can be kind of frustrating too. But pretty much what you need to do is whenever you're at a certain point, nice, I totally messed up already. When you're at a certain point where you're supposed to, where you're pretty much about to spin out, if you just let go of your joystick and then immediately press up on your joystick again, or pretty much any direction. You can actually hold the joystick in any direction that you want to accelerate, but I just hold up because it's easier for me. But yeah, if you let go and then just press up it again at the right time, then you shouldn't spin out and you should maintain a lot of your speed, so that's really nice. And we're through World 1. World 1 is a little bit RNG heavy with tile driver and sort of bumper balls. Like, the patterns on bumper balls aren't always the same, so it can definitely vary by a good like 20 or so seconds in that world. But now we're on to World 2. World 2 is fairly chill. There's a lot of 2v2 games in this world, and we're teamed up with Mario now. That's why we have Mario as a teammate that we picked at the beginning. He will help us in all of the 2v2 games, and he won't appear in any of the other games, like in the 1v3 games or the 4-player games. He won't appear in any of those. This minigame here, we just need to stack cakes and get a higher score than the computers. We do need to get one cake more than them, because if we tie, we do lose. The game does require you to actually win the game to progress, so that can make like one mini game in particular later on really dumb if you lose it just by pure luck, but it's pretty unlikely to happen, so we'll see though, we'll see. Alright, so Destruction Duet's kind of cool. You might think that it's faster to jump on top and ground pound it, but it's not. It's in fact faster to jump and just kick the statue over and over again. And also, if you're lucky, Mario will also do well. But it's just pure luck how Mario reacts. That was pretty good though. Mario did alright. I only missed one kick. I tried to press A and then press B like a frame later, and if I press it slightly too early, then it will register as just an A and a B input on the same frame, and then that won't do anything, so you don't want that to happen. That's not great, but we're done with Destruction Duet now, and we're moving on to Balloon Burst. Balloon Burst, we need to pump up and down with A and Z, and then we want to pump as soon as the light flashes on the little plunger there, and that will pump as much air as it can into the balloon without also taking the shortest amount of time, pretty much. Because if you pump any higher, it won't give you any more air, so you're just wasting extra time if you pump higher than that. Alright. Looney Lumberjacks. Looney Lumberjacks is... it's just pretty much a timing-based game. You're always on the left side here, so you want to start out holding A, and then you just need to time your A and B presses to when you are pretty much at the furthest point out that you can saw. And then if you hold it for too long, the game will let you know by like flashing, the arrow will flash red and tell you to use the other button. But if you time it just right, then you should get it about that far and also not like stop or anything. It's pretty good. You can usually get about 10 seconds on that game if you're fast enough. This mini game here is a huge run killer if you get really bad luck. You can get pretty good at this game, but you also need to hope the computer enemies don't just decide to be super good and block all of your hits and stuff. So nice, and my ally wasn't super helpful there. Alright, come on. Nice. Okay, that was alright. 21 seconds is not too bad at all. We can get like 10 seconds faster on that if we're pretty lucky and if we play really well, but that's pretty uncommon. Speed hockey is pretty tough though, if you're trying to get like a really good time on Minigame Coaster. It's a sort of frustrating game because like you get all the way through World 1 and 2 and then you get to speed hockey and sometimes you just get really bad luck on the movement of the enemy goalies, and that can be kind of annoying. So we did get bad luck on this game as well. In this minigame, if you get a good enough pattern, you don't have to grab any extra timers here, but since we got a bad pattern, we actually have to grab one timer. The computers just need to be like a tiny bit closer than they are now. Like if just Wario was just one tile down, like one spawn space down, we would have been able to do this without grabbing an extra timer. And skipping a timer is actually pretty nice. It saves like a good, I don't know, like probably about 5 or 6 seconds, depending on how close the closest one is. Alright, so, yeah, but we do need to grab that timer, as you could tell. We would have been behind by like 3 or 4 seconds if we didn't, so that is that minigame. This whole world is full of lots of pretty luck-heavy minigames. This next one here is Look Away. This one's probably one of the more irritating games, and I don't know, irritating is not a great word to use. It's just super random, so getting a really good time out of it can be tough. But we do try to pause. Nice, I totally messed that up. We do try to pause buffer to cheese it a little bit, but the computers can change directions on the last frame anyway, so it doesn't really matter if you pause buffer that much. But if you do happen to catch them in the middle of a turn, you can do that, and you can pause, and then they won't be able to change on the last frame if they're already in the middle of a turn. Nice. Okay, we got that first try, so that's nice. We didn't get the lowest time that you can get on that is actually a 1 cycle. If you're really lucky, all of them will face the same way on the first turn, and then obviously you have to face that way as well. But just passing that game in a marathon run is definitely nice. It's on medium, it's not too bad. Normal, it's not too bad, but on hard, they're a little bit more vicious with their timing on changing on the last few frames. Dang it, I missed. We just want to get Yoshi at a good place here, not waste too much time. Alright, good. The movement of the blue NPCs was not very good, so that was not the fastest, but since I missed Yoshi that one time, that was mostly why that took a little bit of time. But yeah, a lot of these mini games you can finish pretty quick if you're just skilled at the games, and if you get some decent luck as well. There's a good amount of luck in this still, but the thing I like about Minigame Coaster is that it's pretty much just try and beat every single game and be as skillful as you can. In that minigame there, the best thing that you can do is get all 3 computers in the first throw. If you do miss one of the computers, you have a second throw that you can do to get a spare, but getting it all in one go is really nice. And then we're moving on from World 3 to World 4. That World 3 was definitely not the worst. The Look Away could have been better, but overall I think it was alright. So now we're moving on to Toad in the Box. Toad in the Box is one heck of a game. This game, it's kind of interesting. The way the dice spawn after you hit the first dice block is, it's kind of random, so the amount of time that you take to get to the last block can kind of determine whether or not you can sort of YOLO the last block. Nice, I messed that up. There we go. And I mash A here to try and YOLO this. Nice, I didn't get it. And then if I don't get it, then I just time from there. Because if I if I do miss the YOLO, I'm pretty much guaranteed to get the Piranha Plant. And if I get the Piranha Plant, then you just have to know the timing from there, and when to press A from that, which isn't too difficult if you practice. So, Toad in the Box is pretty fun, but if you do get to that last dice block at a specific time, which is fairly lenient, you can just mash A on the last one and get it, which is pretty fun. So this next game here is Toad. Sorry, what? I totally forget. What is this game called? Topsy Turvy. That's what it is. That's what it is. So Topsy Turvy is pretty quick if you just do the right movement there, but it's not too complicated of a game. That game is really straightforward and has no luck involved whatsoever, which is nice. Alright. I don't know if you guys wanted to chime in or something. Sorry, I kind of cut you off there.
Oh no, you. And I'm like, what? I don't know how to help you, Mario.
Oh, you're good.
You're going so fast. I can't even. The game starts and it ends each time.
Oh yeah, no, that's the thing. It's a lot of these mini games are pretty quick. It's like if you try to go as fast as you can, and especially if you get if you perform really well, sometimes you can get some mini games done in just a couple seconds. It's pretty ridiculous.
Yeah. So wait, do you have a favorite then? I was gonna ask.
Oh, a favorite mini game?
Do you have a favorite game? Like, yeah.
Gosh, that's a good question. I mean, I like some of the mini games that are. There's a couple mini games that will last indefinitely if you're playing like against another human player. They'll last as long as you guys survive. And one of them is Hot Rope Jump, where you just pretty much need to learn to time your jumps over this rope of fire so that you don't get hit and die. And you can make the game last like about like 15 minutes before the game soft locks, because there's like the game counts how many jumps you have, and then if you jump, I forget how many jumps it is, but you need to jump for like 15 minutes straight or something. It's pretty ridiculous. And then the game will like straight up just soft lock. I'm not sure why, but I think that would happen in Shy Guy Says as well, and I like both of those games. There's some pretty good mini games in Mario Party 2 though, like this mini game here, Shell Shocked, is a pretty fun mini game. A lot of them are pretty solid. Do you have I don't know if you've played Mario Party 2, do any of you guys have a favorite mini game?
Chat, feel free, just jump right in. Oh, I see Soft Tofu said Bumper Balls. I mean, as soon as Bumper Balls came up, yeah, your first level, the CJ also said that, so.
Heck yeah, Bumper Balls is a good game. It's definitely, I think a lot of the mini games are a lot more fun against human players. Like the computers are pretty fun because you can do some pretty quick strats and you can win a lot of mini games pretty quick if you know how to do it. But playing against humans, obviously, like having like all the mind games and stuff is a lot of fun. so
I'm seeing the mushroom mix-up, hexagon heat from Quo, and then Sissy said hex heat. Yep.
Oh yeah, hexagon heat's great. I think a lot of those are really good. Mario Party 2 just has a lot of really solid mini games. Mario Party 2 is kind of interesting as well because it was a lot of the mini games from Mario Party 2 were actually from Mario Party 1, but they were pretty much like revamped, and a lot of the ones that there weren't a lot that were from Mario Party 1 that were like the stick spinning mini games, but there was definitely a couple that were like this game, for instance, Bobsled Run. There's a bobsled run in Mario Party 1, but it's just a different course and it plays a bit differently, like it's a bit slower and whatnot, but it's still kind of the same game. So I think that's kind of the neat thing about Mario Party 2 is it has a lot of inspiration taken from 1 and a lot of games borrowed from 1, but then it has a lot of really good mini games that are original as well. So I think 2 is a pretty good Mario Party in terms of its mini game collection. It's got a lot of really good ones, a lot of solid ones. So, Bobsled Run's pretty fun. There's these little speed boosts that we can get that I just missed the second one there, nice. There's 3 speed boosts that you can get throughout the level. And if you miss a speed boost, it's only about like half a second or so of time loss. But going the fastest in this level is kind of, or this mini game is kind of annoying because the most optimal way to do it would be with 2 human players, but since you have a teammate, the teammate that you have will try and steer you in different directions, and that can be kind of time-consuming if you don't know how to counter their movements, so learning to do that can help you save some time.
Everyone in chat's talking about the penguin booty holes, and I think Lolly Trash liked it too, because they donated $10 for the cause. We appreciate that. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Appreciate you guys. Alright, so this next minigame here, sorry, sorry, you can go ahead. My bad.
No, I was saying you're doing all the work. Don't thank me. We're just watching you.
No, I appreciate you guys all donating and stuff, and I appreciate you guys having me. It's definitely fun to show off Mario Party 2. It's not the most amazingly marathon safe game, but Minigame Coaster is a bit better. If I was doing something like, there are speedruns of the board game as well, and that stuff can be super RNG heavy. Like, it's probably like 70% RNG, just hoping you get good dice rolls and hoping you get fast mini games and whatnot. It's kind of funny, but Mario Party 2 is a lot of fun, and I think a lot of people would have fun speedrunning it if they took the time to look into it, because it's pretty chill, and a lot of people have played Mario Party already, so they kind of know how to, a lot of people know how to just jump right into it pretty much. So it's a lot of fun. I would definitely recommend.
I think I forgot to ask. What are you playing on for this, by the way?
Oh, so this is on the Wii Virtual Console. If you guys were wondering, it does lag a bit less on the Wii Virtual Console because it just has less lag. I guess it runs better. But the N64 version does lag quite a bit. If you guys do get the chance to pick up the VC version, if you can find it, then I would definitely recommend it, because it's the lag in Mario Party 2 is pretty noticeable on N64. Like, it's actually, on some mini games, I would say it hinders the it makes the mini games a bit less fun, I guess. But if you don't really know any better, like if you've only played the N64 version, I'd say it's kind of hard to notice anyway. But like, VC is definitely a bit faster. Saves a good bit of time on even minigame coaster runs that are only like, even the easy coaster runs that are just 10 minutes long. It saves like a minute or so on lag reduction, or like about 30 seconds or so actually, I guess. It's not quite a minute, but it's still pretty significant. Like Torpedo Targets is a pretty good example here, where this minigame, depending on how many targets you hit on the N64 version, the more targets you hit, the more the game will lag, and you don't want to hit too many targets, because then you can just save a little bit of time on lag reduction if you hit the least amount of targets that you need to hit. So, but on VC version, it doesn't make a difference. It just doesn't lag at all. So it's pretty nice. This minigame here, we are playing the missile commander. The CPU, Mario, he's controlling the driving, so we kind of have to hope Mario decides not to totally suck at driving. That's the one hope, because it can be kind of easy to lose this game if you get bad luck like we are now. Hopefully we can get another target here. That'd be nice. This minigame's pretty long. Come on, Mario, find the target. Find the target, Mario. No. Alright, we do have to do this minigame again. Alright, that's fine. It's not a huge deal. This minigame is kind of a little luck heavy based on how well Mario drives. But it is a more time-consuming minigame of the bunch. It's pretty good though. Pretty fun. I like this minigame, honestly. It's not too bad. If you guys are wondering how it controls, since I have the time to explain now, you can control the missile by, like, it's kind of reverse controls where you need to hold down to go up or hold up to go down. And you are able to control the missiles, though, which is nice. So we have a bit of a good lead now. We already have 3 targets against 0, so we should be a lot better off now. Mario's driving a lot better now, which is good. There we go. And let's get a 5th one for good measure. Get in there. Yeah, nice, nice. I like sniping them off screen. You can sometimes like see your bullet moving on the enemy's bottom side of the screen, and you can use that to also aim your bullet because it'll all move in the same at the same time or whatever. So it won't be like delayed on the bottom side or anything. So it's pretty nice. So yeah, we won 6-0 that time.
Mario remembered how to drive for us that time.
Yeah, Mario got his stuff together. We're good now. And now we're moving on. I did talk about this minigame earlier. I didn't say which minigame it was, but this is one of the minigames where pretty much you just have to not get really bad luck to pass this. I mean, like, torpedo targets is one thing, but this minigame is just straight up, even if you do perfect, if the computers also do perfect, you just lose. You just straight up lose, and you have to do it again. It's great. So, playing the flute, that's kind of nice. I think the flute has a bit more notes. I might be wrong. Okay, yeah. On normal, it has a bit more notes, which gives us a bit less opportunity for Mario to mess up. And DK did mess up there once. Let's hope Mario doesn't mess up at all. We got this, guys. You got this, Mario. Okay, you did good. Looks like we win. That's awesome. Yeah, it's pretty unlikely for you to lose this game, because the computers usually will mess up at least like once. But it is pretty funny whenever you get to this point, and then you just straight up lose after doing perfect. There's just nothing you can do about it.
Would you start over in this?
So like if I was trying to get PB, like a PB paced run, I would definitely restart just because PB has no deaths. Like every minigame coaster run, pretty much if you take any unintended losses, it's reset. So ideally you wouldn't have that happen, but it's pretty uncommon, so it's not like one of the most common things to happen, so you don't need to usually worry about it. Alright, so this minigame here is pretty quick. There's 2 minigames where you need to collect a certain amount of coins, and that minigame there, we only need to collect 10 coins, and then we can actually just throw the minigame right away to end it, and that's like one of the only minigames in the entire coaster where we can actually like die and still win the game, but we just have to collect the right amount of coins. So that was pretty nice. We got a coin bag pretty quick and a lot of quick coins, so that's good. So this next minigame here is Lights Out. On the normal coaster version of this minigame, you play as the hammer guy. In the hard coaster run, you play as the light bulb people, so you need to survive on hard on that one. But on medium, you just need to hammer all of the computers, which is pretty nice. It's definitely a lot faster than waiting for the timer to run all the way out. If you get a nice pattern there, you can whack them. I think you can probably whack them all in one swing, but it would have to be a really, really, really nice lineup. So yeah. This next minigame here is Shock, Drop, and Roll. This minigame here, you can pretty much just cheese the entire game by jumping the entire time. Just jumping over and over again, because it's pretty much impossible to die at this point, unless you really, really mess up or something. And also, well, I guess, so on on minigame coaster, you do have to survive it. Like, if your teammates survive, it still doesn't count. You have to survive, and that's kind of how every minigame is in minigame coaster. Any of the minigames that you're in, you specifically have to survive. You can't have, like, your teammates win it and still clear the game. So that's kind of a neat thing. It's a little bit different than playing on the, like, boards, for example, where if you were on somebody's team and you happen to die, but your team still won, you would still win or whatever. It's not the case on the coaster. Alright, so I'm bad at this mini game, so I'm gonna repeat the steps out loud. You guys can follow along in chat. Down, B, down. Down, B, down. First round, yeah, let's go. B, Z, right A, B, Z, right A, left B, B, Z, right A, left B, B, Z, right A, left B. Okay, good. Sometimes I choke that.
Stressful.
I'm sorry, I get anxious. Okay. It's definitely one of those mini games that are like embarrassing to lose. It's just like, yep, they just told me everything I needed to do, and then forgetting it like half a second later is kind of embarrassing. But
I'm not a human, but you were stressed out that time.
I was. I'm sorry. I stress a bit.
Wait, what would be your least favorite one then?
Ooh, I mean, so there's this one mini game in. Oh, nice, I messed up. I am not passing the fish to DK. Here, 1 second. I would say one of my least favorite mini games in Mario Party 2. It's probably like one of the longest and most luck-heavy mini games, which is Honeycomb Havoc. It's a bit long, and it's kind of just based on an interesting board game that's kind of old, but I forget what it's called, but that mini game is just really long, and if you get really bad luck, you can just lose anyway, even if you do everything in your power to win it. It's not in normal coaster, but it is in hard coaster. So, other than that, though, there's some other mini games that are a little tough. Like if you run mini game coaster enough, you'll probably come to not like bumper balls as much because of how ridiculous it can be sometimes. But we're pretty much to the end of the coaster now. We just need to beat this mini game. This is the final mini game out of all of them. We need to survive a bombardment of bombs. There's a bunch of bombs that the computers will try and throw at us, and we just need to make sure that they don't throw it into our basket here. I just chill on the other side here so I have the most time to be able to react. And then hopefully we don't lose this in the last second here. That was close. And we're good. Cool. Awesome. And then time's not over yet, just so you guys know.
Right.
But time will end once, here in a second we have to go through some dialogue at the end, and then it'll end, so I'll let you guys know here in just a moment when that'll be. So we just need to click through that dialogue box, and then we come to the end here where Toad tells us, nice, you beat normal coaster, and now you've, if you beat normal coaster for the very first time, it'll unlock hard coaster for you. But, yeah, if you've beat it before, you'll just get a bunch of coins, and yeah. So that was Minigame Coaster on Mario Party 2, normal difficulty. Time, by the way, sorry. Time there. I didn't let you guys know, sorry about that. I kind of forgot, my bad. But that is Minigame Coaster. Normal difficulty, again, only goes through 6 worlds, so it goes through 30 of the, like, 42 mini-games that are in all of the coasters, but, yeah, it's a really fun run. I'd highly recommend anyone pick up any of the coaster runs if you like a nice, short and fun mini-game grind kind of run. It's a fun run, so definitely would recommend.
That is awesome. Yeah, absolutely. After that, I just feel bad Peach was throwing bombs at you at the end. I was gonna have you play her, and now I feel like I jinxed you. Right, is that right? Is it 3028? Is that what we got for him? That's
nice. Awesome, yeah.
What is your PB?
My PB is a 2859, so just barely a sub 29. Yeah. And it could be probably, I don't know, it could probably be like 40 or 50 seconds better if I had like a really, really solid run with really good luck, but yeah, no, I mean a 30-ish is pretty good for a marathon, so I'm glad that it went well enough, so thank you again for having me, guys. I appreciate it. I will be back tomorrow, I guess, with some Shrek and some B movie. But yeah, stay tuned for... Oh, sorry, go ahead. My bad.
No, you have to stay. Soft Tofu and CJ said run it back.
Okay, yeah, no, that's totally cool. I'm down to hang out here and talk for a bit.
That was awesome. Thank you. And you're so knowledgeable. You knew all the mini games. It was so great.
I appreciate it. I tried.
Everybody? Wow.
Yeah, it's definitely a really fun run. I played Mario Party 2 since I was like probably for as long as I can remember. I'm 23, so Mario Party 2 came out like probably only like 2 years after I was born, so
I'm in the same boat. Yeah. It brought back memories for me, but yeah.
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, it's a really solid N64 game. Overall, I would say Mario Party is still a ton of fun to this day. So, yeah, it's definitely a really solid game, and that's mostly why I picked up Mario Party 2, was just, I've played it like 1,000 times as a kid, so.
So it just occurred to you one day, you're like, I want to do this fast.
Right, yeah, I was like, well, I think pretty much it was like I hadn't speedrun anything before, and I was like, well, I don't think I would be good enough to do like SM64 or any of those really popular games like Zelda or any of those. Not that I couldn't, I definitely don't think I am unable to now. I've done a couple runs of stuff like that, but yeah, like at first I was like, oh, you know, it seems like a pretty chill and not super serious thing to run at first. And I would say I still don't take it like too seriously, but I've definitely gotten to the point where I actually try to get like really good times and stuff, so it can be a good fun to go for a really good grind and good time on this game, I think. So.
Okay, I have one last question before we let you go, okay?
Oh, that's cool. Yeah.
We had the bid war, and CJ's mom made you play Luigi. Who do you normally play when you are working on a PB for it? Like, do you have a lucky character?
I don't. I just pick Mario because he's faster to pick. It doesn't, as far as I'm aware. As far as I'm aware, it doesn't matter. I could be wrong. I'm not like. Sadly, I don't have an encyclopedic knowledge of all of the like inner workings of this game. There's definitely some people that really deeply understand how everything works in their games. I sadly have never really taken the time to do that for Mario Party, but I don't think there's any differences between the characters you play, as far as I'm aware. So I usually just pick Mario.
No, I'm only judging a little. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, yeah. He's Mario. Fine. Okay.
Yeah, I just pick Mario just because he's just there. Pretty much because if I go pick him in the menu, it's just faster to pick him right away. But it's not. It doesn't matter either way because it's not included in the time because you start time after. So pretty much whoever you prefer is who you should go for. There are some other Mario Party games where the character you pick really matters. Like sometimes there's differences in like hitboxes and stuff, but in Mario Party 2 there aren't any mini games where that makes a difference. So it's kind of neat, but I think that's nice. I think it's nice when people are able to just pick whatever character they like playing as. So
I think so too. I want to be Peach and everything, you know.
Yeah, no, totally. I think Peach is a good character. I think Peach is great. Peach is awesome.
Y'all, that was Silo. His link is in the chat right now for his Twitch. Thank you so much for your time today and for being here with us for Speed Docs on NASA. Like, I can't appreciate your time enough. That was awesome.
Thank you. Yeah, I appreciate you guys having me. It's a really great time. It was a really good time, and I really appreciate you guys having me. The marathon's been really fun.